All right, hang on a second. I think I am live. Let's make sure we're second. I think I am live. Let's make sure we're second. I think I am live. Let's make sure we're second. I think I am live. Let's make sure All right, always some tech stuff going on. Let me make certain that I'm in the right place. Hang on. And that you can hear me and see me clearly. Trying to figure out where all that feedback was coming from, and I haven't figured it out yet, but we're here. So let me make sure that I'm live. Hey, hey, hey. Hi, Samantha. Let me know that you can definitely hear me clearly. Okay. All right, I think you can. I have to always remember to mute the sound from my computer, which is weird. All right, good. Yay, let's go. Let's rock. Good to see you, Samantha. Hey, hey, hey. I'm so glad that you could join me for a quick moment for our Business by Design. So I'm here. It's Thursday. You guys know this is Business by Design. This is your girl, Valerie Priester, the Master Business Mindset Coach to female life coaches and women entrepreneurs. So all things getting you out of your head, out of your way, out of confusion, frustration, overwhelm, so that you can build profitable coaching businesses and businesses. So today we're going to talk about how to win back your motivation. Because one of the things that we as entrepreneurs get stuck in a lot is we lose motivation, right? So I'm going to have to take this out of my ear. So I'm listening to myself in my ear and then talking. We lose motivation for continuing to do the things that we need to do in our business, right? So a lot of times it's due to a lot of different situations and a lot of different reasons why we may lose motivation. So I want to talk to you today about how to win back that motivation and give you give you 3 things that you want to consider that could be the reason why you have lost motivation. Now, let me just say this. It doesn't matter how long you've been in business. I believe that every business owner at some point or another will lose motivation, and that will happen many times. I don't think it's just something that happens one time or 2 times. I think it happens consistently throughout the time that we're in business. And again, for many different reasons, right? So I've been in the industry and in business for 13 years now. I know that Samantha, who's on here watching, has been in business for over 20 years. And I can say that there are times when I lose motivation probably every other month, right? And sometimes we kind of confuse that with procrastination, because that's another big one, but that's for another day. But we will take procrastination and say that it's that we've lost motivation, but that's really not the case, right? We really haven't lost motivation. It's just some things that we're procrastinating on, like things that we don't really want to do, right? Again, for another day. But today, in talking about the motivation, like I said, I want to give you 3 reasons why you have possibly lost motivation and what you can do to kind of win back your motivation and get back on track with doing the things that you need to do in your business in order to keep it thriving and in order to grow it, right? And feel good about doing it when you're doing it, right? So the first thing, of course, is when we think about being motivated to move forward in any task, whether it's in our business or in our personal lives, right? One of the first things that you want to look at if you have lost motivation is revisit your why. Like, why did you even start this? Why did you start your business? Why did you decide that you wanted to become a coach and you wanted to help other people? What was your why? Right? And it cannot be, let me just say this, it cannot be just to make money. because that's not really a why, right? It is, but it's not. And when you think about your why, it has to be something that is going to, something in my eye, that is going to motivate you and keep you motivated while you're on the journey of building whatever it is that you're building. So if it's just money, think about this. If you're not making the money that you want to make in your business, then of course you're going to lose motivation because you're just money motivated. And so when money doesn't come in, then you have no motivation to continue in your business, to build it, grow it, or whatever, right? So just to make a lot of money cannot be your why. It can't be your only why. It just can't. It won't sustain you. It won't keep you in the game when things get rough and when you're not seeing what you want to see. Money is not enough of a motivator to keep you there because you need to have money coming in order to create that motivation, right? So what's your real why? Like, look back over, like, when you first started, what was the reason that you started? Was it that you had this passion to help other people, right? For me, it's a passion to help women really understand and know that they can do, be, and have whatever it is that they want, right? That they don't have to depend on anyone else. That they don't have to depend on a man. They don't have to depend on, another woman, or whatever relationships you're in. You don't have to depend on someone else in order for you to have the life that you really desire. And you don't have to depend on someone else to create your economy, right? To create the money that you want to create in your life, right? My passion was making sure that women understood that and that women knew that you have this innate power to be able to create, do, be, and have whatever it is that you want, right? And that's what gets me up every day when I think about, I can't quit this, right? I can't quit coaching. I can't quit working with women and helping them to better themselves and be better, because that's my why. That's my biggest why, right? And it's my passion. So even when I have thoughts of, what, I just want to throw in the towel, it doesn't sit well because I know that it's not something I can do, because it's that burning desire that's deep within me that's going to keep me moving forward, right? And keep me motivated. So number one thing is to revisit your why. Why did you get into business? I was doing a little bit of studying about, motivation and how we lose it and how we can, reclaim it. And one of the things that I ran across when I was reading an article was this technique. It's a troubleshooting technique that was actually created by, and I'm not going to even try to pronounce his first name, but it was the creator of Toyota, right? He created this troubleshooting system, a way of looking into why things aren't working, right, the way that they should work. And you can use the same method and technique to be able to kind of dig deeper into why you have lost your motivation, right? And it's really just, I use this sometimes even in coaching, right? It's asking questions. When we ask powerful questions, we receive powerful answers. And so his method was, he called it the 5-question method, right? Which is asking yourself a question, and then when you're answering it, giving 5 answers to that question. So it goes something like this. So if you are, again, feeling like you've lost motivation, ask yourself, why do I want to go on coaching? Why do I want to go on coaching, right? And you may answer it with, a simple, well, because I enjoy helping people, right? I enjoy helping people get past their blocks, or helping people realize their full potential, right? Helping people lose weight, helping people, whatever it is that you help them do, right? Have better relationships, right? But then go deeper than just that one question. Like, most people just stop right there. But his technique tells you to go deeper and keep asking why 5 times, so that you can get deeper to the answer to this question. So for instance, if it is, you answer because I enjoy helping people get past blocks. Well, why? So it could be because they are able to move forward after being frustrated or stuck. Why? Because I help them see what's holding them back. Why? Because I ask questions only they can answer, right? You just keep going. Why? Because I know they I know they do have the answer, but they don't know how to get to it, right? So just keep asking yourself, why, until you get to a deeper bottom line answer of this is why this is either happening or why I want it to happen or why I don't want it to happen, right? Because this can work both ways, both in the positive and the negative way, right? Why do I want to stop doing something, right? It can work both ways, but keep asking yourself the question why, so you dig deeper and deeper and deeper. And then of course, journal your answers. Journal what's coming up for you, right? And really sit in those answers, because sometimes we just move through the first answer that we get, and we don't really take the time to examine, like, what's behind that? What's the feeling behind that? What's the emotion behind that, right? What is it really that is holding you back, or causing you to lose your motivation? I was just having a conversation like this with actually Samantha earlier this morning with myself, and just saying, what is it? What is it that I'm missing? Right? When something that I am trying to accomplish in my business seems to be eluding me, and that causes me to lose a little bit of motivation, right? Why? What is it? And so keep digging deeper and just asking yourself that question. The second thing is, go back and review your ideal client, because sometimes we think we've lost motivation, but sometimes our motivation may have been stolen. So what does that look like? If we're working with the wrong clients, if we're working with clients that drain us, right? Clients that don't respect us, don't respect our time, right? They constantly cancel your sessions, right, at the last minute, or they constantly miss payments. All of those things can be draining, and it could feel like you've lost motivation, but really you're just not working with the right people anymore. Right? Maybe you've kind of lost track of who your real people are, who your ideal client really is. Maybe you have gotten into the habit of just accepting clients just for the money. This is where the why of just making money comes in, that can hurt you, right? And so you've gotten into the habit of accepting clients just because they're paying, but they're not really the ideal clients that bring you joy, that make your heart sing, that you race out of bed in the morning going, yes, I'm ready to help them. Right? And so you want to revisit who you're working with, right? Who are you working with? And when you think about, your ideal client, it's not just about from the business aspect. I think sometimes we miss this piece of looking at who we really enjoy working with, and that is looking even in our personal lives, like some of the things that you have done, like volunteer work. Who were the people that you really enjoyed working with when you were doing volunteer work, right? Working in your community, right? All of those pieces. Sometimes that can give you some clues too, as to the actual real ideal client that you enjoy working with, that brings you joy, right? So look at your ideal client. Are you working with the right people? Then number 3, ditch what's not working. Get rid of the stuff that's not working. Either get rid of it or find a way to do it differently, right? If it's not working. Because sometimes, again, we can take on tasks, we can take on things that feel like a drudgery, right? And it feels like, oh my God, I just don't want to do that anymore, right? I hate doing that. Some things, like, if you don't like doing video, right, then to have as a part of your marketing strategy that you're going to do a video every day, it could really just burn you out, wear you out, and you feel like, this is yucky, I don't want to do it, right? And it could cause you to think that you've lost motivation, but really you're just doing the wrong thing. You're doing the thing that doesn't make your heart sing, or that doesn't really fit with who you are, and maybe sometimes even how you want to show up, right? Maybe it's showing up on Facebook, right? And maybe you don't like showing up on Facebook, but maybe you love Instagram, maybe you love Pinterest, right? Then cut your time on Facebook and spend more time over on Instagram and Pinterest, if that's what you really enjoy doing. I'm all about creating your business the way that it works for you, right? Because I don't believe in just cookie cutter ways of creating your business. I believe that you should create the business so that it works for you, so that it is in alignment with your beliefs, what you stand for. It's in alignment with your personality. It's in alignment with how you want to show up, the authentic you, right? All of that. And there's ways that you can do that for all of us if we just take the time to look at what is it that really works for me and what doesn't work for me. And the things that don't work for you, those are the things that you want to figure out a different way to do, or to get rid of it, right? So 3 proven ways to look at how to ditch things that are not working for you, number one is eliminate the task altogether. Okay. Number two could be to automate it. Put in a system or a process that will help make it easier for you, right? A lot of times I see business owners that are not working with automation, right? That don't have real systems in place and you're trying to do everything manually. That can cause you to lose motivation because that's a lot of work. So figure out how to automate it, right? Or hire someone to automate it. And then number three, get someone else to do it, of course, right? Hire someone else to do it. I am really a big proponent of, if you're not the expert at it, right? If it's not your area of expertise, it's not your wheelhouse, your lane that you should be operating in, then hire someone else to do it, right? And when you hire someone else to do it, it doesn't mean that you have to learn how to do every single thing that's related to that, right? You need to know the outcome. You need to know how you want it to look. You need to know what it is that you are expecting from this, but you don't need to know every little intricate detail of how to do it if you're hiring an expert to do it. Okay. So 3 ways to get rid of stuff: eliminate it altogether, automate it, or hire someone to do it. And what that could look like, let's say that you have a membership site and you have to constantly keep putting in new content for that membership site. And it's really not something that you enjoy doing. Hire someone to put the content in, right? Maybe you can write the content and give it to them and have them put it in, right? Or hire someone to write it and put it in, all of it, right? Or if it's a membership that, again, it doesn't bring you joy to deliver it and it's not something that you really are excited about delivering, then maybe it's time that you get rid of the membership altogether, right? And don't just throw out everything and go, oh, I'm just going to get rid of it and get rid of all that content. Because if you've done all that work and done all that content can still be used. So you can repurpose the membership, do it in a different way. Maybe you want to do a higher level style of membership, right? Or maybe you can start selling off pieces individually. If they're trainings or whatever, sell them off individually as ebooks or, mini training series, and repurpose them in that way. You don't have to totally get rid of everything, but you do have to look at what's not working and find the way for you to have it either work in your business the way you want it to work, or eliminate it altogether, or hire someone else to do. All right. Those are the 3 things, key things with winning back your motivation. Revisit your why, review your ideal client, okay, and then get rid of things that are no longer working. Ditch the things that are no longer working. All right. Now, of course, sometimes we can't see those things for ourselves, and sometimes we need help with being able to identify like what's really working, what's not working, right? Or what is the thing that makes my heart sing, right? What is it really that I'm excited about doing? Because a lot of times, again, we're looking at the big picture and we're just looking at, I want to be able to help people. But how do you want to be able to help them, right? What really makes your heart sing about how you're helping people? Like for me, when I look at the years that I've spent in business, one of the biggest things for me has always been working with people on their mindset and helping them to shift away from thinking that things aren't possible for them to thinking that anything is possible for them, right? And helping them with the strategies and putting in place the things that they need in order to make that a reality for them in their business and in their life. Right. And so for years, I've, I always talk about mindset and it's part of my programs, but I have never really put a heavy emphasis on it. And so what you are going to be seeing and what you're seeing now is more focus on those pieces. Even in, the content that I deliver, the lives, anything that I'm talking about, I'm really going to go back to like mindset, because I know that mindset is 90% of this game. When you are coming from the right success and growth mindset, then anything is possible for you, right? But I had to get clear on that within myself as well and say, you know what, that really does make my heart sing. It really does excite me to talk about how we can help you shift your mind, how we can help you shift the way that you think, right? How we can remove those self-limiting beliefs, those doubts, those self-sabotaging ways that you have that keep you from really having a successful business. Right. So I had to do some clearing myself. And so sometimes you really need help to be able to do that, right? I had to get help to do that, between accountability partners, between coaches, right? Getting help to help me see that there's some things that I can clear out to make my business life a whole lot better, operate from more grace and ease, and more importantly, operate from more of a heart space where I'm doing things that make my heart sing, right? So if you need help with that, schedule a private 90-minute session, right? And what we can do is we can dig deep, really get clear on what is it that you really, really want to do? What is it that you really, really enjoy doing that makes your heart sing, right? Where do you think you've lost motivation and how to get it back? And then help you create an action plan to help you get what it is that you're looking for and get back on track so that you can start operating in your business the way that you want, right? What you'll get is a 90-minute session with me is a deep dive session. We can focus on one main area so that we get a clear, just super clear picture of what you want and how to get there. It's just that simple. What do you want and how to get there, right? You'll have a customized action blueprint that gives you, exactly what you need to get to the destination that you're trying to get to. We'll record the session so you can have that, as lifetime access to be able to go back and listen to it if you want it recorded. And I also offer with that a follow-up email support for 30 days after your session. Okay. And it's just a place where you can come and really have a conversation with me and we can dig deep into what is not working for you and how to move you beyond that place so that you can start to really generate not only the income, but the happiness, right, that you are looking for in your business. Because I'm sure you started the business so again, that you could not only make money, but that you could have this victorious life and live the life that you really dream about, right? And in order for you to get there, you need a plan. You need a plan. And if something is stopping you, if something's blocking you, you need to identify that so you can move it out of the way, right? And a 90-minute session with me can help you do exactly that and walk away with a clear action plan of what you need to do in order to reach the goals that you're looking for. So I'll leave a link so that you guys can take advantage of that, get some more information about it, and certainly schedule it. I only accept a few of those every quarter. So if that's something that you feel like you really want some help with and need my guidance with, be sure to just go ahead and schedule your session. They do kind of fill up pretty fast, but I'll put the link in the comments so that you're able to get that information and schedule your session. All right. That's it for today. I hope you guys have an amazing weekend. Today is my Friday. So after today, I'm going to kick back, relax, enjoy time with the hubby, and get ready for next week. So I hope that you guys have an amazing weekend, and we will see you next Thursday for another Business by Design. Remember, designing your victory is a choice, and you get to decide and start today. See you next time. Bye.